Hello, my name is Dr. Trinh with TRICARE Chiropractic. Well, I got some good news today, some exciting basically research that I did regarding to heart attacks. So on the two previous video, of course, as you can clearly see, my tone of voice is a little bit different. This one I'm a little bit more excited, and the reason is what we're going to talk about is what is the root causes of heart attack and stroke. Well, based on my studies and my research and everything like that, the root causes of heart attack is the inflammation of your arteries. Not because you have high LDL or not because you have high cholesterol. So let me explain more in detail how this works. Let's say that I have a little paper cut. What happens when I have a little paper cut? With time, the body will heal, is it? So the root cause of my paper cut is what? What causes that cut to begin with? And then secondary, what makes it heal? So what I'm trying to share with you is that what causes the inflammation to begin with? Once you have the inflammation, then you will start seeing the fat, the cholesterols, and other stuff will cause it to form plaque. So therefore, the good news is that, yes, because it's associated with a lot of the lifestyle issue that you can control, heart attack can be avoided. So you're probably wondering now, what causes the artery to be inflamed? First and foremost, the most important one is diets. Second of all would be your lifestyle. What I mean by lifestyle, the way you handle your stress, smoking, alcohol, lack of exercises, nowadays sitting jobs, not moving around so much, and also poor sleeping habit. Number 3, medication. Even over the counter, such as ibuprofen, which is another term for ibuprofen, is a common brand that you buy, is Motrin or Advil, that can also increases your risk of heart attack and stroke. And also, when it comes to genetics, there's not a single genes that's going to guarantee you if your parents have a heart attack, you will get one. But there is a genetic variance that what is called is familial hypercholesterolemia. What does that mean? Meaning that for some reason, your LDL level is very high, even at birth. So as you can clearly see, a lot of my patients, a lot of my families, I would say, you know what, I'm really scared, I'm really concerned because my mom had a heart attack, my dad have a heart attack, and in my situation right now, my brother have a heart attack. Does that mean that I have a gene that I will have a heart attack also as well? No, it's not true. But if your family, or if, for instance, my situation with my brother, if I follow his lifestyle, then yes, more than likely, I probably will get a heart attack also as well. So what I really wanted to mention now is when it comes to a tear, so this is an example of an artery basically from the inside. So as you can clearly see, there's also a tear in the artery wall. And when there's a tear in the artery wall, guess what? That's when a plaque start forming. So when the plaques start forming, like I mentioned on earlier video, you have macrophages, you have cholesterols, you have triglyceride, you have LDL in here, and then you have other stuff in here that forms a plaque. So as you can clearly see, if we didn't have this cut or this tear, your plaque would not have formed inside your layer of your blood vessel. So therefore, what I'm referring to when I say root causes is, it's not because of the LDL, but what makes it cut or what makes that tear to begin with. And that tear is because of inflammations. So now, going back to diets, how does diet causes inflammation of your blood vessel? Well, we've been lied to. We've been told to eat a low-fat diet. As a result, guess what we do every morning, every lunch, and every dinner? Most common for breakfast is cereal, pancakes with syrups, orange juice, apple juice, toast of bread with jam and jelly on it. What do you think all that contains? A lot of carbohydrates. For lunch, what do? Sub sandwich, but with the sandwich bread, hamburger with the hamburger buns, French fries, and chips. What does all that add up to? More carbohydrates. Dinner, what do? Pizza, pasta, maybe a little bit of alcohol, beer, wine, or Coke. And then desserts, what do? Ice cream, pies, cookie. What does that all add up to? More carbohydrates. So please, the problem with our diet, with our standard American diet, is our carbohydrates. So what does that mean? What does it do to your blood? Why does it cause inflammation? When you eat so much carb, your pancreas has to release this hormone called insulin. And unfortunately, because of our diets that we've been eating for the past 20 or 30 years, so now your 40s, you start being very resistant to it. So in other words, the insulin is not being effective anymore. So what does it do? When you have a lot of insulin in your blood vessel, it reduces nitric oxide. When you eat a lot of sugar, what else does it do? It feeds your bacteria, but unfortunately, it feeds the bad bacteria in your guts. So what does it do? It releases a lot of toxin to your bloodstreams. As a result, it can cause us inflammations. So that's how diets can be a huge factor. And then also with diet, not just only simple sugar that you eat, which is referred to as sucrose. Sucrose has part of glucose and fructose together. The blood work that when you order, they only measure the glucose. But the blood work that you order when it comes to the glucose, it doesn't measure the fructose. So what does the fructose do when you eat it? It goes directly into your liver and is stored in your liver as fat. So you get more fat. As a result, that's probably why your triglyceride level is high or your uric acid level is high. And that's where alcohol comes in, wine, beer. And as a result, because of that, it basically stores in the liver. And when you have a lot of fatty liver, basically makes the liver works extra harder. Lifestyle, what am I referring to? Well, first and foremost, your stress level. A lot of people say, well, I don't think I'm stressed out. Unfortunately, you don't know it unless you get a cortisol test. What does cortisol do to your body? It puts you in this fight and flight stage that makes your heart work harder. As a result, higher blood pressure. And the longer, the higher the blood pressure, it damages your vessels. So for you, when it comes to stress level, you got to figure out what else you need to do to de-stress. Sleep. Unfortunately, we're not sleeping 7 or 9 hours a day. Sleeping is one of the most important things that you can do for your body, and that's where it heals. But unfortunately, we may get 3 or 4 hours of sleep. We're not getting at least 7 or 9 hours sleep. Smoking. Smoking is not just only bad for your lungs, but smoking is really bad for your blood vessel. It doesn't make the blood vessel flexible. It constricts it. It narrows it. So all the years of smoking will also affect your blood vessels. I mentioned about alcohol already. Alcohol basically damages a lot of, your guts flora. It makes a lot of storage of fat in your liver. And then now, being sedentary. Sedentary, for example, a lot of people are working from home, not getting up and down or moving around. As a result, your calf muscle. That muscle is almost similar to a heart. It's another pump to basically get your blood back up toward your heart. So if you're sitting a lot, how are you working on your muscle and your calf muscle? So therefore, when you're not walking a lot, when you're not standing a lot, your leg muscle is getting weaker. And also lack of exercises. No, I'm not referring to you have to go to the gym. Just a simple, good walking is all you really need to do out in the neighborhood with a good tennis shoes. Ideally, yeah, you want to do 10,000 steps, but if you can't, hey, at least get out and walk around and work on your leg muscle. Staying active. Don't be so sedentary. I mentioned about medication that can cause inflammation in your arteries, especially ibuprofen, like Motrin and Advil. It increases your chances of getting a stroke and a heart attack. And the last thing I want to mention today is regarding to genetics, hereditary. A lot of people say if my dad have it, if my mom have it, I might get it too. Like I mentioned earlier, there's no single genes that guarantee you will have a heart attack if your parents have one. But there is a genetic variance that can cause you to have a high LDL at birth already. And one of the tests that we can check is called lipoprotein little a. That test, you don't have to take it once in a lifetime, because why? So far at this time, they don't see lifestyle or dietary will make any changes at all. So with this video, I just want to kind of explain to you and how excited I am that the root causes of heart attack is not because of the plaque formation, but what causes the inflammation of your blood vessel. Thank you and have a great day.